You're listening to the Deadly Uncle Podcast,
a safe space for deadly uncle conversations.
Next up, we have Zach Willier, an awesome musician, a young man that is doing wonderful things in the community.
He is about to graduate high school, and his plans are to attend East Tennessee State University, which has a very specific program, a bluegrass music program and country music program, the only one of its kind in North America, and you're going to learn all about it from Zach.
Well, I grew up here in Edmonton, I've lived most of my life here, but I'm originally from Sucker Creek First Nation, and for sure, and spent a couple of years of my life there, and but mostly in Edmonton. The city slicker,
Lots of music from Sucker Creek, the Midnight Pepper Band is from there.
It sure is,
Nathan Cunningham's from there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, real wonderful people, and I've played with them a handful of times here and there, and just real wonderful people,
Are you related to any of those guys?
I can guarantee it. I don't know exactly how. And on multiple sides, mind you, most likely, it's just all over. We're all connected,
That's
awesome. We're all cousins.
Yeah.
So what kind of music did you have growing up in your home? What was playing when you were running around as a kid? What do you remember?
How much time do we have? Well, I love country music, and real country music, mind you, and so that was a lot of the stuff that was playing around, and my grandparents would play them old CDs, and my mom, of course, and the three of them really have had a major influence on me when it comes to music, and in general as well, but as music, the three of them, like I said, just play them old CDs and put on the radio, and it was always Hank Williams and George Jones and Johnny Cash. I remember being 3 years old and knowing every word to Folsom Prison Blues,
and probably singing it lower than Johnny Cash.
Now I am. I was way up here before, but but it's just good, and so I guess you could say that country music has always been a part of my life, and it's just second nature to me, and I will also mention, my uncle Warren, as well, has really had a major influence on me with guitar and just music in general, and the first guitar I ever had was given to me by him, and it's just been wonderful, and so I just couldn't ask for a better family, more nicer, kinder family. So definitely.
No, that's amazing. And so tell us what instruments that you played, and what were you drawn to? Tell us what what influenced you first, as for instruments.
Yeah, well, I wasn't, if you know my family, none of us are musical. I mean, my Uncle Warren a little bit, but my mom, my parents were not musical whatsoever, and so I started at Prince Charles School playing the fiddle and just screeching away.
Gary Lee?
Yeah, Gary Lee, for sure. And he was my first fiddle teacher. And
he's taught a lot of kids in the community.
He sure has, for sure. Wow. And so Gary Lee and Judy Gatto, they...
Shout out to Gary Lee for making this happen. That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And... I can't give him all the credit. It was me, but
yes, for being an influence. Yes.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
I'm only teasing, but it's just been great, and but definitely, of course, he's been a major influence. In the early years, mind you, and of course, it's changed over the years, but like I was saying, country music has just been huge for me, and I loved listening to them old records, and so naturally, when I started playing the fiddle, I'd start copying these old records, and I started with just strictly fiddle records, and so, Don Messer and Andy Desjardins and Reg Bovet and some of the old timers, and then, I gradually moved into more country music, and like I said, I've always been listening to country music, I just didn't necessarily learn from it, and then after I started building my collection of LP records, which is at 1,000 albums, mind you, now.
Wow.
After I started building that collection, I just would listen to all this amazing music from 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and I just learn from it and be influenced. And it's really, that's the best place you can learn, because like you're learning from the masters, you know. And so it's just wonderful. Like I said, George Jones, and one of my real favorite fiddle players is an American fiddle player, and he was a real big influence on my playing. It's Chubby Wise. He played with Bill Monroe and Hank Snow, and you know, but and there was
I just have to interject something here.
Influences.
How old are you?
I am 17.
Okay,
Only 17.
just
yeah.
now here's my interjection. Typically, I know people in their 30s that have no idea who some of those artists are that you just named.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
what drove you to seek out those older artists? Because that's really the question. Like you must have an old soul, because you know what I mean? Like, because kids your age do not listen to Bill Monroe. You know, some of them do. Like, obviously, there's obviously some out there that do, but your typical teenager is listening to, like, I don't know, Justin Bieber, Cardi B,
sure,
you know, like that kind of stuff.
Drake,
all
of them.
So the question is, do you twerk?
No!
Just kidding.
Not in a million years.
And you've been performing now since you were fairly young,
10 years
right?
old, 9, 10 years. Like, because we started at the Prince Charles School Fiddler, so I've been performing since I was 9. But as a solo performer and talking, I think I went to this little talent show in High Prairie, Alberta. And, you know, I think there was maybe 20 people. And at the, what's that place called? The Sports Palace. And so we went up there, and I just scratched away on my little fiddle. And I don't even know if I placed, but, you know, but that's what really started it, you know. And I just getting up there and overcoming the fear of public speaking and performing in front of people, having so many eyes look at you, it really kind of sparked something in me. And so, yeah, but that was the first time I think I was about 10 when I first solo performed. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you became a fiddle player, because most people that want people to look at them become drummers. So.
Yeah, well.
No, that's pretty amazing. Like, you know, for especially like at your age, you know, and to see you have a very like even an old soul stage presence when I see you up there. The way that you speak, and I said this to you before, and this is like a huge compliment, is that I picture you at like a dinner table with like so many grandchildren and people just loving your stories and, you know, listening to, you know, you tell them and stuff, and it's just like I see you already as like almost like a grandfather. It's pretty funny.
Well, maybe after some years of touring and whatnot and playing music, you never know. That I think that's what'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, as I seen this kid, you know, around and doing his thing, this young man here, you know, we always tell him, you know, and we tell the young ones, you know, don't do what we did, don't do the partying, don't do the mistakes, and we want to see these young men grow, you know, because I was sitting with you guys like a couple of nights ago, you and your brother Bryce. Yeah. And you know, when I was your age at that time, I would have been partying hard, like, and Trent,
especially being away from home and not having any supervision.
Yeah, and Trent would have been beside me partying, definitely. And we probably would have gotten some trouble and all that. So it's
I'll let you in on a little secret. We didn't have a boot. No, I'm just kidding.
You were with Curt.
No. Of course, I'm only joking. But no, but I totally get what you mean. Like, and it's just, I was raised in the traditional way, and you know, and that's what rings true to me. And but it's just that old-fashioned way, and you know, I've talked about it with my mom, and she's raised me in a very old-fashioned way, but a lot of those old-fashioned values and morals work, and they've been proven to work, and so it's just, I haven't known anything else, so, you know, I feel like it's going good for me, so we're gonna keep on that road.
Is there anything, like, in your past from when you were growing up that maybe drove you towards that as well, like made you not want to do drugs or alcohol? Is there anything that happened in your life that maybe made you look at it and say, yeah, that's not for me?
Well, my dad was a major alcoholic, and so it's just having that in the house all the time. Like, he left when I was 3, and so it was like, of course I remember a little bit of it, but I remember it just being weird and it just not feeling right, and it just, yeah, like I know I was very young, and some people would think that I'm too young to remember, but no, I remember, and it just, I remember it feeling so uncomfortable, and I just really didn't like it, and I couldn't look at him for support and different things, and I still can't. So, but you know, and that's what kind of drove me to think and act in this kind of regular way, without, well, not regular, but I don't know.
No, but that's a good way to normalize it. Actually, if you think in your head that this is regular and normal, then that's good, because we're trying, like, along the way, we're all trying to break cycles that happen in our past, like from intergenerational trauma from residential schools. Like, our parents were, you know, had dysfunction when we were growing up. There's lots of things that we saw and did, and that it's nice to hear a young person say, you know, I want to live a normal life, and make it seem like not drinking and not doing drugs is normal. Yeah. So exactly. I commend you for that way of thinking, because that's what we need to do, is break down that other negative way of thinking.
Yeah, no, and that's why, you know, we have you on this podcast here today, is because, you know, you being such you're our youngest guest, by the way.
Well, thank you. It's an honor.
And you know, but to have you on here and to show the community that we have young people that are living a different life. This is the new generation, the generation where it's okay to be normal without drugs or alcohol, to play music, to play those old country songs that are, you know, connected to drinking. You know? And forgotten, connected to drinking, and that. Well, here's an example of somebody who loves to play that music in a sober light, and bring what's really important to that music is which is the storytelling and the healing.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Like, and I feel like just a lot of them old-fashioned songs, like, they come from a different time, but a time when people express themselves truly, and a lot of these songs come from the heart, and like it's songs about life, and it's songs about living, and songs people can connect to. I think that's the most important, and if you want a hit record, you're gonna have to connect to people, you know.
Like, you're telling me that WAP doesn't connect to people?
Maybe in the wrong ways.
No, but I do agree. I grew up in the tradition of, you know, almost in that folk tradition of passing on a song and, you know, keeping that tradition alive. My dad was a traditional country artist, and he played country music from 1968 until he retired in 2014. So that's where I draw most of my influences from, is from my dad and all the guys that I grew up playing with. When I was like your age, I was playing with 40-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
And 50-year-olds and guys like that.
Kind of like you are now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's how you keep that tradition alive. And it is actually a dying tradition. Like the country music tradition of Western Canada is almost extinct. Like, there was a time when my dad made his living. He played 6 nights a week playing country music for, you know, 20 years.
Yeah.
And now you can't even get gigs for one night that are regular. You know what I mean? Like,
see, and as much as I want to, like, what's the right word? As much as I agree with you, part of me says no. Like, I would love to kind of have hit records and kind of bring this old-fashioned music back, because there is a resurgence of it, and it's small, but it's getting bigger, you know, and people's ears are tuning back into that old-fashioned, real, authentic music, and it's getting more real. Like with the Elvis movie, that was huge. People are like starting to love that old-fashioned sound, and it's just amazing to me that like people my age are like, oh, I love Elvis, like, and that's just, it makes me feel like I have a chance in the business, you know. And like the George and Tammy series just came out about George Jones and Tammy Wynette, and you know, and it's stuff like that brings the true stories out, and you know, and sets the clock back and makes people realize there's much more real, authentic music if you just dig a little bit. And you know, it's always getting recorded, and there's this kind of underground scene of real, authentic, true artists.
Yeah, no, it's funny because that Elvis movie actually inspired 2 of my nieces to get into Elvis. And I was like, I showed you Elvis, remember? They're like, no, you didn't show us Elvis. And they're totally into it now.
Uncle's always trying to take credit for
everything. Yeah, they're like, you know, they're under 25, right? They're in between, they're in that age bracket of being younger and finding this music. But yeah, and I think that honestly at showcases and those type of things, I think that you're going to do well, you know, at the Alberta showcases and those type of things. I'd encourage you to apply for those things, you know, and because there is a market for that style of music. And so are you writing any music?
I sure am, yeah. And you know, actually just last night I wrote a brand new song, and you know, and the best ones are the true ones. So I wrote about some things in my life, and yeah, different situations. But yeah, I love writing, and it's new to me. You know, I only started this year, but you know, I've had lots of people come up and tell me, you know, I really love this song that you wrote and connect to it, and you know, that's why I do it, because of the people. And you know, I really appreciate the fact that people are recognizing it. I mean, it's slow, but it's starting. And so yeah, but it just felt so wonderful to
lots of years ahead of you. One fan at a time, bro. Yeah. One moment at a time, just live in the present.
Baby steps. Yeah, but you know, it's just wonderful. Like, I wrote this song, and which is on my brand new EP, and you know,
what's the EP called?
It's self-titled, Zach Willier, and you can find it on Spotify and Apple Music. And yeah, but there's this here song called "Don't Show Me Her Picture" that I wrote after a lady friend of mine, and you know, but a lot of people really loved it and just loved the story behind
17-year-olds that say "lady friend." Times done changed.
Well, you know, it didn't.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I only tease you because it's cool, man.
It is so cool. For real. Like, yeah. No, you guys, I really, I think that you're...
And that's what deadly uncles do. We tease you.
we gotta tease the young ones, for sure. No, but I just really, I think that you're headed in the right direction. I like the fact that you're picking, you know, a genre that is, you know, almost something of the past and bringing it back, you know, to the young generation.
For sure,
and
yeah.
Even with the fiddle and stuff. And one of the performances that I seen you do is you actually play full songs with the fiddle without any guitar players, and that's you singing along with the fiddle. So tell us a little bit about that, and how did you come up with that?
Yeah, and so my, philosophy would always be like, I didn't word that right, but you know, the way I always thought of a fiddle is it's a melody instrument, so you'd only hear it on the melody of songs. But you know, I kind of, out of necessity really, I kind of taken it and turned it into kind of a rhythm instrument. So I'd strum along with the fiddle. So I'd start out like that, do jambalaya or something, and then I'd play the lead part, and then I'd go from strumming to playing, and then back to strumming, and yeah, it's just kind of, and like I said, it's out of necessity, because a lot of the times I'm doing these gigs just by my lonesome, but you know, but it's just kind of the way I have to do it. But you know, it has an interesting sound. One of my favorite ones to do is "I'm So Lonesome I Can Cry," and yeah, so sounds real good once you get going. But yeah, for sure.
Why don't you play us that song?
Sure, yeah, I'll get my fiddle out here.
Yeah, pull your fiddle out. While you pull it out, I'll talk a little bit about some of the gigs that we have coming up. We actually, all three of us,
I'm going to go to the washroom while you get ready.
Okay. All three of us actually have gigs at the I Am Collective. We want to send a big shout out to Lori.
This weekend?
Yes, this weekend coming up. And this episode, I believe, you know what? We're going to get Zach to sing also the famous Elvis song, Christmas song, not So Lonesome, Blue Christmas. Yes, Blue Christmas. Because you know what? I think this has got to be our first episode to air, hopefully on Christmas Day. So we'll hopefully air this on Christmas Day. But we have shows coming up all month long with the I Am Collective. So we want to send a big shout out to Lori with the I Am Collective for making this happen, keeping us artists busy through the Christmas year. Not only performing artists, but all the artistans that, you know, make this happen. Also want to send a big shout out to Authentically Indigenous with Melreen, Eagle Speaker, and also and her sister as well. I'm gonna have to edit that because I can't remember. Melreen and Autumn. There we go. Melreen and Autumn, Eagle Speaker, that have Authentically Indigenous. You keep all of us artists and artisans busy, so we thank you with all of our hearts. And yeah, we're gonna get Zach to play a song. Would you be able to sit down and play it?
I'll sit out of the camera.
You can sit right here in the middle.
Well,
and,
that ball will hit you right in the eye.
Yeah, and I'll pull off to the side once you're ready. You can just introduce it, and we'll get off your way.
Or you can just stand in the middle there. You can move your chair.
No, I'll sit.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Whatever you want to do, bro.
Edit that out. All the fiddle players will be mad at me.
Pull this back just so we can see him a little better.
I just don't want to drown out the mic level, so just check them.
I'm just going to pull the one closest to you down. Yeah, that's good. The other two will pick you up for when you sing.
Here, just 1 second. Just for
I'll do that.
effect.
All right, so you know, I like I was saying earlier, I love doing this number, and I've heard it basically all my life, and so I want to do it. And written by the man himself, old Hank Williams. Hear the lonesome whippoorwill, he sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is winding low. I'm so lonesome I can cry. The silence of a fallen star lights up a purple sky. The moon just went behind a cloud to hide its face and cry. Did you ever hear a robin weep when leaves begin to die? Just like me, he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I can cry. I'm never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. Oh, and as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I can cry.
Woo! Hey! Holy smokes! Yeah, dude, I could hear that on a movie.
Now that's a
For
hurt
real.
number. That's a real hurt
Like,
number. Yeah.
No, but the way you did it, not the original version, this version, man, for real. That's pretty cool,
Do you want to
dude.
do one more while you have the film?
Yeah.
Before we get.
Sure, yeah.
I'll sit back down.
Let's get him to do one more with the fiddle, then one with the guitar. Do the
Oh, sure, yeah.
the Blue Christmas
Blue
one.
Christmas,
Yeah,
Maybe I'll just do an instrumental then.
sure. Introduce it.
What will I do? All right. Well, you can find us on my newest EP if you're interested. But I love this tune, and I think it comes from Scotland. But the Métis have really taken it as their own and really claimed it for sure. So, some of you probably heard this a million times, but you sure as hell haven't heard it Zach Willier's version.
Hey.
Big John McNeil.
Deadly work there, brother.
All right.
You can just set that right there.
Perfect.
Good job, good job, good job. We're putting you to work here.
Yeah. That's all right. You got a pick.
You got a picture, my friend?
It's the only pick in the whole house.
Nice guitar.
It's for sale.
Well, I just bought one, so.
You just got a Grinch.
I did, yeah, baritone guitar.
Yeah.
All right, so I've always loved Elvis, and and I just performed this song this past weekend, and I printed out the lyrics and everything, thinking I'd forget them, but I didn't, and it just goes to show how many times I've heard this song over the years. But I love Elvis, and like all y'all do. So here's Blue Christmas. Have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. Be the same day when you're not here with me, and when the blue snowflakes start falling, that's when the blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas so white, but I'll have a blue Christmas. I have a blue Christmas without you. Be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations Generations of rain on a green Christmas tree. Oh, they won't, baby, they won't be the same, dear. Oh, when you're not here with me, and when the blue snowflakes start calling or fall, that's when the blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas award, but I'll have a blue Christmas. Oh, I'll have a blue Christmas. Woo-wee!
Hey! Good job, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, good job.
Here you go.
Thank you,
What
thank
make
you.
is it?
This is a Gibson Studio.
Oh yeah, Gibson. Of course,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous.
Do you mind if I
gorgeous-
just leave this here?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it there. That's
great
perfect.
prop.
I like it. Looks good.
I'll have
Woohoo!
Trent Christmas.
Our Christmas special. This is
Without
perfect, right? Well, you know what we'll do? We're gonna add some effects, so we'll have like snowflakes
Oh,
and
that's
stuff
wonderful, yeah.
falling. You know, all kinds
That's
of stuff.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's getting the snow from, but I'm sure he has it in his bag of tricks.
I have it in my Logic, or not Logic Pro, Final Cut Pro X. One of those.
All that stuff is beyond me. I can sing
I
a
think
country
it's
song,
just
but
on
I don't know
TikTok.
about this.
That's awesome. So tell us about some of the shows that you have coming up.
Well, like you mentioned, you know, the I'm Collective Indigenous Market, and every weekend we're at St. Basil's this weekend, and Prince of Wales Armories the next weekend, and yeah, you know, I'm all over the place, and yeah, so it's wonderful. And last December it wasn't this busy, so you know, I'm just real happy to be. I'm just so proud to be here, you know, and real fortunate to get these opportunities and whatnot. And this past year is really. My career is just taking the next step, so I really am just so grateful.
No, that's awesome. Tell us about a couple of the highlights that you played over the summer. What was some of the places that you really remembered?
Well, the Fort Chip Métis back in July, they asked me to come play for their annual Métis Days, and so they flew us all out there, and we went all up in a 9-seater plane. And yeah, so like it was just rocking and all over the place. But
Yeah.
you know, it was really worth it, and they're such wonderful people. And I played, and Rock and Fiddle actually was on the bill as well, and so they of course backed me up. And yeah, so those are some good boys too. So yeah, but so yeah, Fort Chip, and you know, the Region 5 Métis Nation of Alberta had sponsored me to go out to Batoche, Saskatchewan at their national Batoche, back to Batoche Day. So you know, Métis people from all over Canada come out and celebrate the Métis culture, and so you know, I was real fortunate to play there, and it's my third year going. So you know, it's just wonderful. Fingers crossed, I'll be back again, but you never know.
That's awesome.
But
man.
yeah, and actually one more I'll let you know about. Back in April, I was asked to go out to Ottawa, and so the Royal Canadian Geographic Society had asked me to come out and play as I was representing the West, and I was very proud to be representing the West. And so better to do it with a fiddle, you know. And so anyway, but I was asked there. The Perry Bellegarde, the Chief Perry Bellegarde, the former AFN leader, and you know, Mary Simon, the Governor General, was there, and so so many other dignitaries, and so it was just really wonderful to be out there. First time in Ottawa, for sure. So.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing to
And what
also.
grade are you in?
I'm in my senior year of high school, grade 12. Yeah.
How many classes are you taking this semester?
Just 3, and so I have every second day I get a half day off, so that's real great.
So is school in the future for you?
Oh, yes, it really is. And so I'm planning to go to East Tennessee State University out in Johnson City, Tennessee. And and so they have a group there, a 4-year degree in Bluegrass.
Let me just pause you just one quick second. I just want to see what's going on with this.
He's running out of battery.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry about that, brother. I just want to make sure. Oh, okay. It's just saying that card. I'm just going to stop and start this again.
Am I talking too much?
Nope.
No,
you're good.
It's perfect, dude. This is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Well, yeah. It is.
I'm here for comic relief.
Comic relief. Yeah. Well, that's good.
No, I just bring everybody back to reality when you start talking about stuff. I'm like, in what grade are you in?
Yeah, but please, yeah.
No, it's just you're doing a lot of stuff for somebody that's still in high school, so you still have, high school studies to take care of.
Yeah.
What are your grades like?
Not bad. Social is the lowest, but I'm still passing, so that's always a good sign. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm in drama. I love drama. So, I'd like to be like Elvis, just sing and act. That's my dream.
Dance.
Yeah. Win a Grammy and an Oscar. So.
You're listening to the Deadly Uncle Podcast,
A safe space for deadly uncle conversations.